ambitious or unsuccessful children, and Ingray imagined her foster brother Danach's smug triumph. Even if all Ingray's plans succeeded, she would never replace Danach as Netano's favourite. But she could walk away from the Augskolds, knowing she'd humiliated her arrogant brother, and made all of them, Netano included, take notice. And plenty of other people with power and influence would take notice as well. If this deal didn't go through, she wouldn't have that. Wouldn't have even the smallest of victories over her brother. Silent still from the grey blur, from the facilitator. The spicy smell of the serbat from the decanter turned her stomach. It wasn't going to happen. And maybe that would be all right. What was she trying to do anyway? This plan was ridiculous. It was impossible. The chances of her succeeding, even if this trade went ahead, were next to nothing. What was she even doing here? For an instant, she felt as though she had stepped off the edge of a precipice, and this was that barest moment before she plunged downward. Ingray could end it now, announce that the deal was off, give the facilitator air fee, and go home with what she had left. The blur across from Ingray gave a dissatisfied sigh. Very well, then. The deal goes forward. But now we know what to think of the much-vaunted impartiality and equitable practice of the tier. The terms were plain from the start, said the facilitator in an even tone. The payment was accurately described to you, and if you did not consider it adequate, you had only to demand more at the time of the offer or refuse the sale outright. This is our inflexible rule in order to prevent misunderstandings and acrimony at just this stage of the proceedings. I explained this to you at the time. Had you not expressed your understanding of and agreement to that policy, I would not have allowed the exchange to go forward. To do otherwise would damage our reputation for impartiality and fair dealing. The grey blur did not reply. I have examined the payment and the merchandise, said the facilitator, still calm and even. They are both as promised. Now was Ingray's chance. She should escape this while she still could. She opened her mouth. Very well, she said. Oh, almighty powers! What had she just done? The assigned pickup location was a small room walled in orchids, growing on what looked like a maze of tree roots. A woman in a brown and purple jacket and sarong stood beside a scuffed grey shipping crate, 2 meters long and 1 high, jarringly out of place in such carefully tended, soft-coloured luxury. There is some misunderstanding, Excellency, Ingray suggested. This is supposed to be a person. Looking at the size and the shape of the crate, it occurred to her that it might hold a body. Utter failure. The dread Ingray had felt since the grey blur had demanded extra payment intensified. Not moving from her place at the far end of the crate, not looking at it, not even blinking, the woman said primly, "We do not involve ourselves in kidnappings or in slave trading, Excellency." Ingray blinked, took a breath, unsure of how to continue. "May I open the crate?" she asked finally. "It is yours," said the woman. "You may do whatever you wish with it." She did not otherwise move. It took Ingray a few moments to find all the latches on the crate lid. Each came apart with a dull snap, and she carefully shoved over one end of the heavy lid, wary of sending it crashing over the back of the crate. Light glinted off something smooth and dark inside. A suspension pod. She pushed the lid a few centimeters farther over, reached in to pull back the cover over the pod's indicator panel. Blue and green lights on the panel told her the pod was in operation and its occupant alive. She could not help a very small exhalation of relief. And maybe it was better than